This is Jet with Pop Austin Media, and I have TJ, the DJ, in the building with us. How's life?
It's awesome. Blessed and busy.
That's good. That's all you can be, blessed and busy. That's the two good B's you want to hear.
Exactly.
So let's go over to the beginning. Where are you originally from?
So I was born here in Austin, and I moved right before I started school, and I moved to South Texas. So I was born, raised over there, and till graduation 2016, was there for about a year doing school, and then came back to Austin. There was just something about Austin just bringing me back.
It just called you back?
Yep.
Oh, that's dope. So I take it, so how was childhood, moving, right up until you started school? How was your childhood?
It was awesome. I have 3 siblings. I have my parents are really supportive, so they always had me in a whole bunch of stuff like sports and music, and then they would always come out and have all of my family. So it was good childhood. I liked it. It was just busy with a whole bunch of cousins. How it be.
I think I heard sports. You said, right?
Yes.
What sports you play?
I played basketball, soccer, and track was my thing.
So track was your thing. What'd you do in track?
I did 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, and the 4x1.
Oh, what was your best times? I know that's what everybody wants to ask.
Right. My best time, which was only once, but I glorify that time because I was it was that. And my 100 meters, I hit 11 seconds, and I was like, damn. Oh my God, I can do this. I can maybe go to the Olympics or something, all excited. And then I started hitting 12:30, and I was like, oh, never mind. Maybe it was just that one time.
Yeah. But how'd you feel after that race, though? Like you said, I mean, I bet that's still you could do it at least. That's the good thing about it. It's possible. I know if I can do it, I can do it again.
Exactly, yeah. So it was definitely motivational. So it kept me going, and then I had an injury maybe when I was about 16. I pulled my hamstring, and then the following year tore my other one, and it was done for me.
Oh, man,
it was a good time.
So, is that when you started transitioning into doing DJing stuff, or is that a little bit later on?
It was a little bit later on. I think throughout high school, I was still doing track and trying to keep it going, but I also subconsciously knew that it just I
music
my
was
hamstring
in,
thing.
yeah,
but,
exactly.
And I had also I played saxophone in middle school and in high school. I've always been, I guess.
Me too. I played not in high school, but I played in middle school for a little bit. So
see?
shout out.
Buddies.
Dope.
But so I've always liked music, and I played the piano, I played guitar. During summer I would take classes. Like I said, my family always had me in something. And once high school, I danced in high school with the drill team, and once I got out, I was just I need to do something with music. I love music, I love live sound, I love concerts, I love the energy from audiences. So I was I need to do something in this industry.
Cool. What high school did you graduate from?
It's called Juarez Lincoln High School.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in La Jolla area.
So, so I guess how did you learn DJing? What got you what made you choose? Okay, DJing is the thing, and then how did you learn?
So I tried to do writing music. Like I said, I was playing the piano, so I did producing a little bit, but I feel that's something you want to be a little more taught because it's a little more technical. So I am going to school for that right now, but I just tried writing music and maybe singing, and I wasn't really confident. But and then I always liked to go into concerts, and I was whoa, there's so many people on the back end working. It is definitely not just the artists. There's so many people that
so many moving parts.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me. And then just seeing the connection between an artist and a DJ, I was you don't need to be in the front end or in the spotlight or something. You can have your own spotlight because there's a role for everyone to play. And I just really like the whole sound effects and kind of controlling the show from the back end. And I just was you know what, I'm gonna try this out. So I got a little Newmark board, got on it, and started playing little scratches and putting little effects, and went from there.
You just dibble dabble, just started yourself?
Yeah, and YouTube's
YouTube.
it.
I mean, shout this. That's the easiest way to learn is YouTube. It's crazy nowadays.
Definitely.
You can do that. That's cool. And you said the first you used was.
It was a Newmark,
yeah. It was a Newmark.
It was just this little 2-channel.
It's crazy. It's the DJs in the day were the forefront, and then the rappers were the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think right around the time it was almost DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, it kind of like that era it started to become that. So it's kind of weird to see how it started out, like
And how it's
DJs with
transitioned.
yeah, which still that's a big part of sets though. You have to have a dope DJ, and you
Exactly.
have to, because if not, it's like, oh man, not a dope
Yeah,
DJ.
and it's like I feel like the artist also has to feed off of someone. Like if you, especially if you don't have a hype man or something, or you don't particularly know that artist or that DJ, y'all can still make that connection through vocalizing and just creating that connection through the show.
Exactly. DJs matter. They really do. Shouts
Yes.
out to y'all. Do you remember your first mix that you did? Like, was there like like you said, I know you said you did some scratching and that, but was there like a first like song that's like, okay, I can go off this? Or
I want to say it was probably Lil Uzi's album from 2016, and I would just like put that in with, rest in peace to Young Dolph, but I mixed him with Young Dolph, and those were like my artists at that time that I like really liked to listen to at my in my house in my free time, and I just mixed that in, and I was like, dang, you know what, these BPMs and like all this work together, and I was like, oh, boom. Like all this has like its own technical way, but if you just put your creative sound and just like listen to the music you technically listen to, it will work out.
exactly, just make it kind of like you're like you though at the same time. That's what's
Yeah.
kind of dope about it.
Definitely vibe.
Do you remember your first gig that you did? Which you probably do, but what was your first gig?
Yeah,
Is
so
a
I was
better
at
question.
it was at Come and Take It live here in Austin, and I got booked to just play an artist set and perform with him. That was Sante Kami, and that was my first gig. I just got up there, set up, and played his set.
So how are you feeling? You get the opportunity. You're up there. You've put in the work now to like, to learn your craft. And you're like, okay, I got this. Now I'm here. How you feeling?
It was a dope and scary. Like if anything, I think it's insane from looking from that point of view, and when you were always in the audience and being up there and looking at the audience from there and like with the lights, it's just a whole other feeling. And it was just awesome because I feel like once you do something once, you just kind of want to do it more and more. Yeah, so it was an awesome experience.
Cool. What's the most popping gig you did off the top of your head that you're like, man, this is just jumping? Like I almost want to just be like, I want to jump in there with
Right.
them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was at Vulcan a couple months back, and I DJ'd with B King. Well, for B King, and it was just, I feel like that was just kind of a crazy milestone, just being in that type of environment with all these people screaming this person's name and working with this artist, and I'm talking to them, and I'm like, like they've been on the same journey. We are all like on this journey together. So it was probably one of those bigger shows, I would say. And and there was this guy on the top just like throwing ones on the DJ booth, and I was like, oh my gosh, am I in a strip club? Like this is crazy. And I was like, hey bro, like pick up the ones for me, So it was crazy.
That's fun. So how was how did that even come about? Like how did you get the gig? If you don't want to spill the deets, it's cool.
Oh,
I'm
no.
just for the people that just curious.
I work with Royalty ATX
Okay.
with Miss J Walk, and she booked me for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how's dating life for TJ the DJ?
My dating life is amazing. I like stuttered a little bit because it is really amazing. Like I'm in a great relationship for the past year. We moved in together. It's awesome. I'm blessed. We're going on like our second international trip in
That's
the past
cool.
year. So I was like, this is cool. There doesn't need to have all that like toxic relationship that I see on the internet, and even like in past relationships, everyone's had bad relationships. So it's just like I'm glad it's done with.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's good. It's good to travel together, though. I mean, that's the thing. Is like traveling together. That matters too. You get away, you get to see some things, get inspired, inspiration. That's good. That matters. So, all right, how does it feel being a female DJ, but then you also got these guys hitting on you and then booking you for like the wrong reasons at times? Like, how does that feel? I know you've experienced it before.
Yeah, and I feel like that in this industry, that's what. Maybe not all men take they're not, that's like their first thing. They try to like flirt with you and try to book you for they have an ill intention, or other things. They want to like talk to you, want to take you out, want to mess around. Like they think that booking or paying you for your services is going to get them something else in return, when really that's not what it is. Like, business is business, personal is personal, you know. You got to keep those separate. And yes, I did have an interaction with this one, I guess, person.
No, yeah,
right?
you ain't gotta say no names. You can,
Right.
you can keep it anonymous.
And I already knew they had like come out to some of my shows and like already flirted with me. But I'm like, you know, you're cordial, you know, fans are fans, associates are associates. But I also knew that they could maybe help me, or if you want to book me, like, business is business. But I am also in a relationship, so like have respect for that. And they just kind of like, some people don't stop even after
They
that,
don't-
and it's
they just like one ear and out the other.
yeah, and I'm like, you just gotta respect people. Like, you know, even though I'm a female in this game, I would like for you to have the same respect if I was a man. And I think that's what all females want in any industry, in any career, is to be treated equally and have the same opportunities. Yeah. So
Exactly, and it makes like all like gives guys a bad rap. You're like, not all of us do that, but then the ones that do it, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. It's like, you gotta do better, fellas. Don't mix, like you said, don't mix that together. It's like water and oil. It shouldn't be like put together. Man. Yeah, that's unfortunate. What's your favorite venue to DJ out here in Austin?
My favorite
DJ at in Austin, should I say?
Let me see. That's a tricky one.
It could be just the vibe of the
Yeah.
venue. It don't have to necessarily be like sometimes you just go there like, I like the feel of this. This just makes me just
like
it.
it's a vibe.
Yeah.
I really like Vulcan, like for show wise. I just like it, and I communicate with
Vulcan.
with the AV people, and they're just really dope. The bar people are really dope. Like, it's just like very kind of like a homey energy. And then I've been DJing at Darban, which is a hookah lounge. So it's kind of more of like a chill vibe, and where I kind of feel like I'm free to explore my creativity and in my craft. So those are like my two main places.
Dope. Are there any particular Austin artists music that you like to put in your sets?
Yes. So I recently started playing Big Bro, and he's really dope. He has a song called Slide with Quinta NFN, and he put it on his story. They booked me for like a silent party. He performed at it, and I was like, hey, this guy's dope. My boyfriend started playing the song, and I was like, hey, like, who is this? And he's like, that's that guy that was at the party. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna put that in my mix. So I just put it in my mix. So that's been a big one. D Harmon. I have some R&B artists. Miss Jaywalk, obviously. Yeah, she's a good friend of mine. So always in my mix. But yeah, I'm open always to working with a lot of local artists. As long as y'all reach out, send me the music, put in the work, and I'll definitely help out, because that's what we're here for.
That relationship matters, like between the DJs and the artists, like the Austin artists. That matters a lot. Like, it really does.
Definitely.
To y'all, I tell y'all matter just as much as they do. So
yeah, all y'all got to do is just reach out, because I think that's the biggest step, is just letting us know, or creating that kind of connection, because a lot of our artists would just like kind of message on Instagram and be like, oh, play my music, and it's like, well, how am I doing? How is your day going?
Yeah, some type of connection. Well, it's still like, it's like a trade. It's like still
Exactly.
it's not really like, what can you do for me, but it's like, in a sense, like, it's not just, hey, play my music, bro. Or,
exactly. Yeah, it's like, hey, you support me, I support you, like, that's what we're here on this earth for. But you got to know about it. Like, be aware.
No,
like,
yeah.
So
exactly. What influences your style and fashion?
In fashion,
is there a particular person that you draw from, or is it like a few, mix of people, or you just kind of like whatever you're feeling that day, you like to mix it up?
Yeah, I think I definitely like to mix it up. When I'm in DJ mode, I feel like my image, my TJ the DJ persona, is a lot of like wigs and kind of extravagant, but not too like maybe Lady Gaga in 2015 wearing the meat dress. But
but kind of that in between where she fades out the meat dress a little bit.
Yes, and it's like, kind of edgy, kind of creative, and it's really just what I feel, because like today I was gonna get ready, put on my wig, and I was like, you know what, I just feel like being a little more comfortable and just being me, like wearing my good vibes, setting good vibes. Like, you don't need to get so out of character, I guess. You just got to do you, and that's what I definitely like to do. And I have a a friend who's a fashion designer in Italy, and I think she influences my style when I want to be kind of edgy. And her name is Marta Zampolini, and she's an amazing person. Like, and well, I mean zippers. So that's
How'd
when
y'all
I feel
meet?
like crazy. Through a mutual friend, and that's when I started getting into fashion because she invited us out to her fashion week in New York and in Canada. So my mom was like, "Hey, let's go! Like, it's an opportunity to experience something different." And yeah, it's definitely influenced. Just seeing all those kind of creative aspects in fashion, like it's amazing.
So for like our fashion scene people that's out here, like they have Austin Fashion Week out here. I don't know if you've heard of it, but like how was New York Fashion Week, and then how was that experience? Like
It was awesome. Like I also feel like it was kind of before the Airbnbs and all that, like renting places out. And we went to three, but the greatest one was in this old church, and it was like a 2-story. It was like had some of the windows were broken in, but they had like the catered and everything, and it was with like the lights, and all the designers were different. Like one was edgy, one was bright, one was colorful, one was for this specific culture. This one's for doing long dresses, So it was
lots of variety.
Yeah, it was
but it's
so
all the
diverse.
variety stood out.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was great, and you can't really judge, because I don't know, that's what they created, and
Yeah, everybody
it's
has their own
amazing.
style. It's just like you
Yeah.
said, some shoes that I like, people like that's loud, that's weird. And I'm like, I just like these. I don't know why.
You're like, I want to be loud today.
Exactly. There's some recent news that came out. There's Austin Soul Queen Tamika Jones. Are you familiar with her?
I'm not. I feel like her name sounds familiar.
Well, just it's just the point is she's leaving Austin for LA.
Awesome.
And a lot of people from Austin, not a lot, but there's a good amount of people that's left Austin to go to LA. And unfortunately, a lot of them are not doing anything different out in Austin. When there's really a scene that could be cultivated out here and it's growing. So, I mean, really the question is, what is your opinion on people moving from Austin to LA first? And then I'll follow that up with something else after you.
Okay. I think my biggest thing is if this is your city, you got to have love from your city before you can go ask for love for another city. Like that's just it. You have to create a name. You have to create fans. You have to get that love from your community and the city that you're from. Because if you don't get that experience, you don't get that love, how do you expect it to happen in another place?
That you're 100% right. Because if you can't, like LA is like dog eat dog because everything's already, it's like really, it's that's where the industry is at. Like it's like everything's like manufactured there in New York, but a lot of it LA. I mean, if you can't do it out here, what makes you think you can do it out there? I mean, not saying you can't, but it's the chances just drop.
Yeah, it's
so
definitely
you got to
harder.
get it popping out here, to your point. So that's like amen to that. So what do you think that the scenes are missing out here though, that they can be like, this is what we need to do to get the scene popping more than what it needs to be?
That's a good question.
Because we definitely have a lot of talented people out here.
Yeah,
there's
and
like
there's
people I can
definitely-
run across, and there's new artists that I hear every day when I hear it.
And there's like, I feel like there's artists in every aspect, like in art and music and anything, in production, and fashion. And so I think there just needs to be more unity. Like that's really it. I feel like Austin is a very diverse place, and I feel like that's kind of the root of everything, is we got to just be together and be a unit, and that's how we're going to be bigger. That's how we're going to be better. And we just got to work together.
No lies detected. You're saying all the right things. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years.
I know that's a loaded question.
I know.
You're
I'm like,
man.
let me see. I'm going to be 28 because I'm 23 right now. I see myself traveling. I would like to see my career keep growing. I would love to I would love to stay here in Austin unless it takes me somewhere else, because I do love Texas. Like this is my home. But yeah, I would just love to get like more bookings. I'm going to school, like I said, so I want to get my bachelor's degree, and I think that would happen in the next 5 years. So yeah, I just want to keep growing. Like I really don't like pressuring the future and being more present in the, because like I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Like I can have like the little pieces, but they'll put themselves together.
I forgot to ask you. I normally ask. So you said bachelor's degree. Have you went to college yet, or are you okay? So you're close to getting a bachelor's degree though.
Yes, I am a junior right now.
Cool, awesome. Where do you go to college at? If you don't
At
mind asking?
ACC, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm in
get it
the
done.
music business, performance, and technology.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask. That's one thing I usually ask. I'm like, God dang, that's one thing I meant to forget to ask. Cool. Well, do you have anything upcoming or any projects you're involved with that we should look out for?
Tomorrow we are gonna have our Puff and Smoke at Crew Lounge. So Crew Lounge is dope downtown in Guadalupe. Yeah, there's that. There's a lot of stuff. I feel like I have my residency at Darban every Thursday. I have a residency coming up at Crew on Wednesdays. Awesome. Yeah, so it's more just look out.
Constant work. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, just put me a pallet right in the back, and I'll just do that, and then I'm gonna come pop right back out.
Right.
Awesome. Where can we find you at on the socials and everything else?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and on Twitter, same username @_TJ the DJ. I just made a Facebook page also, TJ the DJ. So there's different avenues to find me, different platforms. TikTok. @_TJ the DJ. Yeah. And that's it. You just look me up, hit me up, find me.
TJ the DJ. Y'all know where she's at. Actually, we also have some gifts for you. Speaking of #_TJ the DJ.
That's dope. I saw this and I was like, I'm so ready to see this. Like, gosh, this is so cool. I love this little record. Dang, I love it. Okay, I'll open it.
Figured the DJ for you though. Fit the mold.
Yeah. Dang, and I love things that like much love, because no one ever like shows love. One, to give merch. Like, I appreciate it so much because we want, like, I honestly want to support. So hell yeah. And then you put my name on it. Like, that's awesome.
For the special people that come through, we hook him up.
Man, and we love popcorn.
Oh, exactly. Who doesn't like popcorn?
Ooh. Nice. Yeah, this is dope.
And I believe what is this? Is that a hoodie or a sweater? I forget.
A sweater?
Sweater, yeah. Yes, one of the two.
Nice. Thank you. Hell yeah. You already know I'm going to be sporting it, especially in this chilly weather.
Heck yeah.
Man, hell yeah. Right.
Well, it was good having you by. TJ the DJ. She'll be scratching and DJing at anywhere near you, any venue. Look out for her. She doing her thing. It's good having you by.
Appreciate you.
This is
for
Jet,
having me.
and I'm signing out.
Nice.